Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Vlad from Numeric Racing, and we're about to do unboxing and install on this 996. It also is for 986 also, and so we're gonna be showing it right out of the box. We got the aluminum set here with the logos. Everything already comes assembled. The gas pedal already all comes on. This is the adjustment screw here, so whenever you put it on and you wanna, it allows the gas pedal to go further out but not further in, because you don't want to go further in because otherwise you won't be able to get full throttle. So even if you thread this all the way in, it'll be as if stuck. And then if you want to thread it out so that's closer to you, you can also do that and then tighten it with this screw. We'll get more into that as we go on. And then these come already with all the hardware attached, and an extra screw comes with the wrench also, and the dead pedal. Now let's get into the uninstall so that we can install this numeric set. All right, what's going on? So now we're gonna get into the uninstall, but if you're working outside, or you can rip the top foam off for your knees if you don't have a pad, and we'll do an uninstall first. So let's get at it. So to do the dead pedal, there's just a flathead screwdriver. The only tools will be required for this uninstall and install is just gonna be a flathead screwdriver and a tool that comes with the kit, which is a T20, and then also I recommend a T15. So this one's not needed, but it'll make it much faster. All right, so you just undo this one screw. It's a Phillips. And then pull it out. You pull upward, because this is holding it. So we set that aside. Now to do these is the same. It's the newer cars, it's a rubber mold, so you pull on this side, and it comes right off. There you go. And now for the gas pedal, it's holding on by one Phillips head right here, so I'm gonna undo that one. After you get the one screw loose, the assembly will come out. Set that aside. And then now you pull up, and it comes right out. Now to get this assembly undone, some of them will have, the 911s will have it coming up through the top. Some Boxsters, you'll see it come down through here, the cable, but either way, it's still gonna be the same process. All right, so now to get this gas pedal off, we have 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Phillips head. You gotta be careful, you don't want to strip them. So make sure you use the right size. That's not, maybe it's a number 2. There you go. They strip very easily. I don't know why they use Phillips heads. Porsche stopped doing that and converted to Torx. That's why we use Torx head on all of our hardware. But yeah, this one's the longest one. All right, so after you get these 4 screws undone, the Phillips heads, there's 2 tabs to keep this thing open. There's one on the top, bottom, one on the top. To undo the tab, you just pry it open with the flathead screwdriver, unlike what I'm doing. Pry that open. Pry this one up right here. See it right there, and it just opens up. Take the bottom one, and then just wiggle it out like that. And so we're gonna remove this piece right here, the stock piece. So we're putting on our pedal. It's the same process as if you were looking to replace just a stock pedal. So here it is. Now we have it all disassembled. don't lose this box. So to get it undone, we just need to get this ball out of here. You can keep it onto the gas pedal. We just gotta get it off this mount here, because that's where ours is gonna mount onto. So I like to bend it up like this, like that. Just use that leverage instead of trying to pull out, and that'll just come out right there. So I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna grab our gas pedal. So now to mount it, it's gonna mount on the same exact way as the stock one. So it's gonna slide right into here. It's a nice press fit here so that we have no wiggle room here. Just push that in, just like that. And this is where we require some patience here. So we put that in here. We wanna push our ball in. If you wanna run the rubber housing, from the stock one, you can put that on here. You may have to either cut an opening here for a little bit more, or you could indent this in here like this. So see how it's indented like that? And so you can still be able to use this housing. So I'll put it on with the housing. There you go. If you don't like that, then you can also cut a slit. See, and it'll run like just like that. Make sure you get your height adjusted beforehand, and make sure that screw is tight if you're using the rubber boot. If not, you can adjust it while it's inside your car without the rubber boot. But if you're using the rubber boot, it's going to cover up the screw, so I would do it now. And what happens is that if you want to just run it at stock, it's going to be almost fully, this guy almost fully threaded. So you just thread it all the way, and use a size 8 wrench here for this locking nut, and you tighten that down. So let me put the boot back on, just like that. And this slides right into here. Whenever you mount this piece, whenever you mount our gas pedal, mount it onto the side that has the mount for this guy. So do it for the left side. And then the gas pedal, this piece here, goes up here like that. And so try to hold that in place. And then I'm gonna clip this in now. So you can hold it bottom and while pushing the pedal in. Or I can do it, I've done it a couple times with it fully assembled and then put in a flathead screwdriver here to get it in. But let's see what I can do to get this ball in. Like that. If you don't want to put your hand there, you can put a screwdriver here and try to do it like that if you don't want to use your hand. Or so it's a nice press fit, just like the stock one. Make sure this piece is here. So now we're going to be putting it back together. So now we want to slide this guy in, but before we do so, actually put the box. This box goes, this piece facing upward, just right back in here. What purpose does it serve? I don't know. And now we're just gonna try sliding all that back in. Try to make sure this piece stays inside there. Don't allow that to pop out. While sliding this piece on the bottom here, where the mount is, slide that piece into ours, and as you slide that, everything should come together. And just go from top to bottom, just keep working around, see where it's getting stuck, and there it is. I heard the click on the top, click on the bottom. It's fully assembled. Just like that. The top one got clicked in. Make sure. Check the bottom one. It clicked in. No play here, side to side, up and down. We got the rubber boot in. We can go. Make sure you got your full range of motion. That's full throttle. See, here comes out of here. Unless you can run the boot a little lower so that it's actually holding in here. Let me pull it down a little bit. Put the boot back in. that. If you don't run the dust boot, it's a little quicker, but I want to make sure we use it. Out. There you go, you can run that. Now you got the boot. Make sure you're running full throttle. Full range of motion, feels smooth. If you feel some kind of bumps or something, or it getting stuck, then check your gas throttle, follow it to the engine. Some of them run to the back, like the Boxsters. Here you'll see the throttle runs up into here. Make sure it's all connected up there, and it should be fine. Just like that. And now to back assembly, just reverse what we did to disassemble. We have the 4 screws here, and then we'll be mounting it on, going from the top to bottom, and then doing the mounting screw. So I'm gonna start that. All right, after putting the 4 screws back in, be careful not stripping them. We're gonna be mounting it back in. And also, whenever you're working with this, don't try to pull it too far here. Don't pull it too far away from you, because otherwise you may mess up the cable here. So you wanna kind of work with it without being in tension. To put it in, it just mounts on the back. It's a slider piece here and the locator one here. So you have to go from the top, push it down. So I'm gonna go from up top and push it down. Right in there, you'll feel it. Okay, nice and snug there. And we're gonna put that Phillips back in up top. Careful not to strip this screw also. There you go. Now you got a fully assembled, smooth action heel toe gas pedal. Fully assembled in about 10-15 minutes, I'd say. It's the longest assembly gas pedal for the Porsches, but once you get it, it's nice and smooth. It looks great. Now we're going to be moving on to the brake and clutch. All right, now we're going to be doing the brake and clutch. And so we use a mounting system here on the back, as you can see, that goes around your face of your pedal, and then it'll clamp it down from the back using these 4 screws. So the method I like to use is I undo the bottom 2. And then I have the top ones halfway threaded, just how it came in the box. Get about halfway. And so if you have your bracket push this bottom out though when you're mounting it, and you want to screw the bottom ones in, maybe you need to loosen the top ones, or you can push down here and then thread it like that so that the threads can reach here. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna mount it, go from the top. If it doesn't mount, then you just need to loosen the threads a little bit, the top ones. So you kind of wiggle it until it hits the mating face,
and so it hits the face here. So now I can feel that gap here is ready. Either you can pull it with your hand when you're mounting it so that the screws can fit, but this one feels great. So now it's ready to be mounted. It's going to self-align. For me, we have in the box that came with it the T20, but I like to start it off with the T15 just so it's easier. Do not apply force with the T15, it's just to get it started. For you to want to strip these. Also, here it's clockwise, but when you're working reverse, you're going to be spinning counterclockwise from your perspective. So put them in the hole. I can actually tighten those top ones up a little bit more because the bottom's bouncing a little bit. So we can get it. There you go. You don't want to tighten the top ones too much right away because then it'll push the bracket out too far away and then you won't be able to thread it. So this may be what I've done right here. See, so I'm pushing the bracket towards the pedal and I've hit thread. If it's not hitting here and you can't thread, it means you need to unthread the top one so that you can get this bracket up more closer, but mine was just fine. So I'm gonna do the other side, just hand tightening with this. With me just hand tightening it. The top ones. Okay, now we're ready for the tool, and now we're going to be using the tool to actually tighten it down. All right, so after hand tightening it with the T15, I used the T20 to tighten down. Whenever you tighten them down, go in a circle so that you're not bottoming out one and not the others. And now, see this pedal's not moving. That's the actual pedal moving. So it's nice and tight in there. You won't have any slip. And there it is, fully done with just 4 screws here, tightened down. And it started getting tight after just having 2 of them tight. So the other 2 are just for safety, but you want to make sure to tighten them all down. Now we're going to be doing the same exact process for the clutch pedal. It's gonna be the same exact thing. Gonna undo the bottom 2. Have the top 2 half threaded. About half threaded. Slide it over. It fits right in there. And then I'm gonna be hand tightening them with the T15. Alright, so the clutch was the same process as the brake. The clutch, I just went around tightening them. The brake one seems to be tighter earlier. This one you need to tighten down much harder with this T20 screw, and you go around in a circle. One of them can get hard to reach because of this back piece right here, but I still was able to fit our wrench right in there and still tighten it down. And so now it's completely tight. Let me try to wiggle this thing. It's just a thing moving. Try to push it up, down, side to side. This thing's not gonna go anywhere. And see, it just wraps around that plastic and becomes one with it. And then now they look great. And it was 4 screws to install here, 4 screws to install there, same process. And now we're gonna get to the dead pedal. All right, to mount the dead pedal, it'll be quick and easy. It's gonna be the same way as mounting a stock one. It's just gonna go from the top, make sure those prongs underneath fit right in, push it down, and then line up the hole. This is the only dead pedal with a hole in it because the stock one uses that. And once you get the hole lined up, we're gonna put the screw that came in with it. Right now we're using a black one, that's just what we have in hand, but yours will be matching the dead pedal cover. And you're not drilling into this dead pedal or anything. There's actually an existing hole there from the stock one, because the stock one, it uses that same hole location as the stock one. and so you're not actually putting a new hole in or anything or tapping. So we're just going to use that wrench and just tighten it in there. And there you go. Tighten it going this way now. Quick and easy to install this dead pedal. Same as like stock one. Now you got this guy not moving anywhere. Nice and sturdy. We got an entire set, but this screw will be in aluminum based off your aluminum color, or black for the black ones. And that's the entire set right there. No fabrication. We were able to install it with about 30 minutes for this one, maybe 35, depends on how long the gas pedal will take you. But there was nothing super complicated, and everything was able to be done without using any drilling. And we were able to do it with just a screwdriver and a T20 that was provided and a T15 to make it quicker. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the install video. If you have any questions or concerns, or have any technical questions for how to install this on a 996 or 986, just feel free to call us during our business hours, and we're available for any questions or concerns, and we'll be able to help you guys out install these. And also make sure to leave us a review if you really enjoyed them, and